All right, what we're going to look at today is cleaning fish. First thing we're going to look at is what you need to clean fish with. I like to use an electric knife, and I like to use 2 manual knives. I always got my sharpener with me, got my scaler. A lot of people don't scale the fish. We scale and don't scale. We'll show you the reasons for that as well. First thing we're going to do is take a redfish and clean him. You want to get underneath. There's 2 fins on the bottom. You want to make a cut all the way to the backbone and then rotate the fish forward, a little bit slant forward, just like that there. And then do the same thing on the other side, just like that right there. You can feel the backbone. Then you want to take him and split him all the way to the other fin on the bottom. And when using a clipboard, you need to make sure you got one that's got a big enough clip on the front to take care of some of these fish. Because most of the clipboards, the clip's too small. All right. I'm pulling the guts up forward, and now I'm going to take the side of the fish off. What we're doing is filleting fish. Right next to the backbone, and you can feel the ribs as you cut through them. Laying it next to the backbone, and coming right on down the side of the fish. Just follow the backbone. All right, there's your fillet. As you can see, right next to the backbone, no loss of meat. All right, I'm going to do the other side of the fish because you'll reverse the fish by putting the tail in. We're going to slice into it, parallel it, follow that fin on the top, following the backbone, get up to the rib cage, cut through the rib and turn and come out. There's your other half. As I said before, beautiful piece of crab bait. We waste nothing. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take that fillet, put it back in the clipboard, grab it by the tail section, and I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to get underneath that skin and just gently come down the back of it, and we're going to take the skin off of it. This keeps you from having to scale the fish. You'll notice we didn't take the scales off of this fish, and I'm going to show you how to get the skin off of it and scales all in one move. It makes cleaning fish a lot easier. Just a small slice, follow the skin. I'm stretching the meat as I continue to run the knife down that skin. I'm going to run it right on out. And there's your filleted fish right there. Now there's one more thing we're going to do. We're going to take the rib cage off of this fish. And here's your rib cage right here. Okay, we're going to get in behind those ribs and just make a little cut. This will get 90% of the bones out of that fish right there. And now there's your beautiful fillet ready to be cooked. The reason we like to take the skin off of the bass and not off of the trout is because that takes some of the oily taste, some of the wild taste out of that red. And there's your fillet right there. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is trout. With trout, we scale them. We leave the skin on the trout because the meat is a softer meat and it gives the meat good integrity when you're cooking it or freezing it. These fish are extremely easy to scale. Not much to it. 2 people can get very efficient at knocking out some fish for supper. And that's what you're looking at right here, is supper. It's pretty much scaled. Okay? We're going to wash him off. I like to get all that off of that fish, get him cleaned up before I fillet him. Okay. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to repeat the process on this one. Get under the fins, cut him, cut down and up, and roll. Like I say, you can get very efficient at this the more you do it. Pull the guts forward. Get them out of your way. Trying to keep my knife clean. Take the side of the fish and remove it. Running the backbone and right down the fin on top. If you'll notice, every time I clean a fish, I've got the belly turned towards me. And that's because of the way the bones curve in that fish. It gives that blade the opportunity to take all the meat off instead of leaving meat. All right, we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to take the rib cage off. Like I say, you can either eat that rib cage or you can use it for crab bait. And then you can eat the crabs. Beautiful fillet right there. Boneless fillet. Doesn't take long to get supper. All right, now what we're going to do again, we're going to take that same fish and I'm going to flip him over. I'm going to put the tail section in. As you notice, I've got the belly of the fish still towards me, okay? Like I say, the fish curves like this. So when you take your knife, you'll actually point that knife down just a little bit as you run it. And that's how you don't lose any meat. You don't have to go from the other side and try to save all that meat. Because this rib cage right here, I'm going to remove it anyway. So I'm after this beautiful fillet that's right in here. All right, let's see how this goes. Cutting from the tail, feel the backbone, turn parallel to the backbone, running towards the head, through the rib cage, and comes right off. That fish is now filleted. Like I say, you're not losing anything. Everybody says, oh, you're losing meat. Not losing any meat. What you're gaining is crab bait. Eat the crabs. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to remove the rib cage. And when I say rib cage, here's your rib cage right here. Comes right along there. You can see the bones in it right there. And what we do is get behind those bones, turn the knife a little bit on edge, roll right behind it, and take this beautiful fillet off of here. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it with the electric knife this time. Gets right in behind it. Now I'm going to cut through the skin. There's your rib cage. Like I say, you can either eat it or you can fish with it, use it for crab bait. There's your fillet. That's one method of cleaning fish. There's a lot of others, but this one here is the one that we prefer.